Hola tribe. Welcome to the House of Kai. Today we're going to do a medicine oracle read, and I apologize for my delay and not having had any out in the last week or so. I had traveled and there was no Wi-Fi service that I could upload, so I apologize. But excited to be back. Very excited to be back. So let's see how the collective is doing. Let's see. I know for myself it's been a whirlwind. So it'll be nice to ground down. Be nice to ground down and see how everyone's doing. So let's see, one more shuffle here, one more shuffle. Ooh, so as I was shuffling, it told me to stop. Number 12, Amueta, Sage of Higher Knowledge. Let's see. It is very much a time of going in. Yeah. It is very much a time of being present of the vibration that we're experiencing from within, and giving ourselves permission to sort through, to identify all the emotions we're experiencing and bring peace to them. So I know I recently put a video out about this, but I even had a conversation with a family member about it, and there are stages of healing. And at any point in time, if you are in the process of going within and doing the healing journey work to discover what it is you're experiencing, any time you've come to an answer that, one, doesn't bring you peace, right? That, two, puts blame on someone else, regardless of the age that it took place, regardless of the storyline, right? Anytime you put blame on another human being in the healing process, we've not gotten to the purity of the healing. We're still at only steps and stages of it. And this card right here, absolutely going through the cycles of the moon, the phases of our emotions. It's inviting us to drop in and come to deeper and deeper states of peace. Deeper stages of acceptance and peace, right? That phrase, radical acceptance, I'll be honest with you, I can't stand it. I can't stand that phrase, radical acceptance. What a lovely phrase, right? It's a lovely phrase. Can you tell me how to do it? Can you tell me just to have radical acceptance and be in that place? Wouldn't that be lovely all the time? I know that I work hard to achieve that. But it is absolutely something that is easier stated than embodied. So I invite you to work with that feeling of radical acceptance. Can we accept and bring peace to all the vibrations and stories in our lives? Can you be your own sage? Can we accept that where the journey has brought us is where we are, not where we thought we would be, right? Radical acceptance. So again, if you are listening to the vibrations moving through your body, and there is a place of turmoil or stagnation, somewhere that you don't feel peace, then it is up to the individual to bring peace to the storyline that the body is carrying, right? And again, not about blaming anyone. If you're in that stage of the process where it's somebody else's fault or not yours, right? And it's not about a fault, but it's just part of how the ego goes through it, right? The ego in the process of healing likes to blame everyone else except itself. And Your emotions are your own, right? No one can force you to feel what you're feeling. They can trigger them, but they themselves didn't force you to feel them. So you having those feelings are your own. Why are you having those feelings? Learning how to identify and track the story is extremely important to find peace, So let's see what we have here for our secondary card. Yeah, so working on being our own sage, our own healer, right? One of my favorite parts of my journey is teaching people exactly that, how to self-heal, right? How to do the work, how to have the tools so that you have the power, to make the changes, to bring peace to your own inner workings, right? Your body, your mind, your spirit. There's nothing more powerful than having that ability, in my opinion. Oh, and again, it's telling me to stop shuffling and be with this center. Now, interestingly enough, this card, she's actually wearing a mask. She's wearing a mask. It's a very floral mask, and we're colored. We have lotus flowers and decorations all around her. But being very centered. And again, the representation of the moon here. We have the moon's energy, right? I love that she's in a full expression. But the card is representing center, right? So again, this deep knowing, this deep going from within, without losing our colors. Actually, the more we go within, the more we purify, the brighter and more colorful we become, right? The more radiant we are. I find it so interesting that we are in a time where we're being told that we had to wear masks, right? So I'm watching my wording on this because I have my own personal opinions. Yet I find it so interesting that those of us that have been doing this healing work and journey have been talking about removing the masks, removing our masks, right? So that we can show up organically and authentic at all times. And here we are being told to put on masks. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And I will say how interesting it is to see the depths of colorfulness and creation people are using with their masks these days. Yeah. And to truly see someone as in their eyes, right? To no longer can we get into facial expressions, right? It's centering within the eyes. Bringing peace to all of those aspects of ourselves so that we may shine more brightly. Again, it's so funny. Usually it tells me to cut differently, but today, as I'm shuffling, it's telling me to stop and delight. Look at this. Being our own personal sage, owning our own personal wisdoms, delighting in it, celebrating in it. Oh, I really love in this image, Ganusha, he looks like he has a full belly, right? He's full belly and he's got his hands on his belly, right? And he's just in this pure delight and celebration of being himself. What a gift. What a gift that is, right? Coming into our wise sage and living from there. Living vibrantly and brightly from a place of center within. Well, I will say that that is some seriously good medicine from all this chaos, as I had mentioned, that I'm feeling, right? I know my own personal journey and those that are surrounding me, I can see and witness that they too are going through their chaos. And so we're all doing our best to find our center and balance. You know, part of my work is I teach people physical rehab, right? How to correct injuries and rehab their body. More than a personal trainer, I do more of like a physical rehabilitation of the body. And one of my favorite things to teach people over the years was utilizing a yoga ball, how to balance on one. So years ago, I was trained to, you know, kneel on a yoga ball and then learning how to stand on a yoga ball. Extremely, extremely difficult for, well, me anyway, and for many others. I've witnessed unbelievable beings who could just run across a room, jump on a yoga ball and stand straight up. It was pretty powerful stuff to witness. But that is not an average normal thing. So when teaching someone to get onto a yoga ball and balance on their knees, they often reach outside of themselves. They seek something outside of them, like a wall, something to stabilize themselves with, that they grab a hold of. But here's the thing, you will never find center or balance by reaching outside of ourselves. Ever. You can never find your center if we're always seeking it from outside. Very powerful lesson to learn. Very powerful. Yeah. If you have a yoga ball in your environment, I'm going to recommend start to play with that. Start to put your knees on it, keep your feet down, slowly lift your heels up, pay attention to how your weight distribution is, what do you have to do in your core to activate, what are you going to do with your tailbone, right? Start to roll yourself forward and see what happens, right? You might slip, you might fall, I doubt it. But if you allow yourself to experience the experience of what it feels like to be that off balance and center, when you experience that depth of being off center, your body and mind will seek center. It's a brilliant thing. Your body naturally wants to find it. So if you force yourself into a situation that forces you to not know where it is, your brain will seek it. It's crazy, right? The body is innate. It always wants to find its health and center and balance, always. We just need to give it the pathway to do it. All right. Ooh, so there's one. There's another card. There's another card here. So the first card out of that deck was discernment. I'll show you in a moment. Acknowledging that in order to become centered, we must have discernment and knowing of what it is we can let go of, right? What brings us focus, what brings us peace. Those are the things you want to focus on in life, right? What brings you inspiration and joy and peace and happiness? Not keep fighting something that is a losing battle. I mean, there are battles that we have to face and battles we have to move through, but we do so so we can actually break through layers and find our true center, and true balance. However, without that level of unknown, right? So like going on that yoga ball, if you didn't know what it was to be off balance, you wouldn't know what it was to find balance. So discernment is no different. The universe is amazing. It gives us all these opportunities to seek it. It shows us all the things that we don't want to experience or don't resonate with us so that we can actually seek happier, more joyful things. It's an amazing, amazing way the universe works. Amazing. So let's see. Okay, that's what they're telling me. So, discernment and strength. You know, we're going to need it. We're going to need it, discernment and strength, to get through these battles, these internal battles. Everything that is happening outside of our world that we think is happening outside of us is actually happening in here, right? It's all happening in here. If our vibrational cords, look at that image of discernment. That is one heck of an elder, isn't it? If our vibrational cords, you can't see, that's a Buddha. Oh, the lighting's not going to let us see it. But that is a Buddha on the inside. Sorry, guys, I tried. And there's all these different animals. It looks like the Buddha's face is in a cave, right? But that's all different animals that are in this card. Center, right? Being the center of all that chaos. The strength of discernment, the strength of focus. I believe recently I did a video speaking about how to focus on the light, right? The candlelight. So there are ways for us to drop in and get centered, right? Even this right now, I have a dear friend spending some time, and I've never done a video with another person in the room. They're doing their own thing, right? But I still can feel their presence in the room. And I'm doing everything just to focus, focus, focus. Right? Discernment of the vibration to which I wish to speak from. And not allow myself to keep wondering if they're going to make a noise or if I'm interfering with their stuff, or right? So it's just staying centered and focused. As I said, that we're in the middle of like this whirlwind. We must keep a focal point, right? I love having my focal point as a flame, just seeing a flame in front of me. And every time I find myself wanting to look somewhere other than, I go back to that flame's energy and I allow myself to see it move and expand and do things so that I can stay focused on it. It is my goal, it is my directive, right? I also like to believe that that flame purifies. It's part of my discernment. So if there are things coming into my energetic field or my mind or however you want to look at it that are trying to distract me from my focal point, that flame will burn them out, right? It'll purify the energies around me so that I can keep focused. Yeah. So today's read, right? Finding that inner sage. Celebrating and being in the delight of it, staying centered and focused, discernment, and having the strength to continue on. Yeah, that kind of feels exactly what I've been feeling as well, right? Being the center of that tornado, right? Not allowing any of these other distractions to come in. Like I said, easier said than done. Easier said than done. It is a time of radical acceptance. What is that? That is when in the midst of struggles or distractions to just simply let it go. Accept exactly where we are and keep moving where we want to go. I guarantee if there's a mess left behind, the universe will make sure we clean it up. It's not always the best answer. It's nice to be able to clean it up as we go. Yet, the universe will make sure that we do. Yeah. So, stay centered. And celebrate your many colors. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing today with me. It was nice to come back and do these. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And leave comments. I love them. Thanks again, guys. Mwah. Peace out, Trap.